the inevitable consequence of everyone doing, stop right there in the name of the law. Genital check bullshit. A teen filed a discrimination charge against a Buffalo Wild Wings restaurant after having to expose herself to prove she was a woman. A server reportedly stopped her from using the woman's restroom and told her to get out until she revealed herself under her top. Shocking? Yeah. Remarkable. Who could have guessed it would lead to this? Apart from everyone immediately, all the time. This is what they want. Well, I mean, it's, you don't need to be a genius to understand there's a pretty direct correlation between transphobes and people who think the Me Too movement was an anti-man hate brigade, right? I'd throw hands. Yeah, honestly, there's like no legal authority by which they can do that, but it is like an excuse to harass these people. Unshockingly, they also targeted a non-white woman. Yeah. Obvious. There's like a million like obvious lines here from a server too. Jesus Christ. Honestly, I wish that the lawsuit didn't even go to Buffalo Wild Wings. I wish you could just annihilate this server, because it's not like this Buffalo Wild Wings location had a policy of go do titty inspections or whatever. That's not at least probably they didn't, would be my guess. I wish you could just annihilate this one person specifically from Orbit. Girikamudra, 18, went to dinner in April with a friend in Owatonna, about an hour south of Minneapolis. When she went in the bathroom, a server followed her inside and banged on the stall door while saying, "This is a woman's restroom. The man needs to get out of here." According to Gender Justice, a Minnesota gender equality organization that filed the charge on Mudra's behalf. Mudra, a biracial lesbian who isn't transgender. Worth remembering, of course, that even if she was transgender, it wouldn't change the nature of the dynamic here, said that she's been in similar situations before when people have suggested she's in the wrong restroom, but that's when she tells them she's a woman, they leave her alone. However, when she came out of the stall at Buffalo Wild Wings and told the server, "I'm a lady," she said, "The server responded, 'You have to get out now,'" Gender Justice said in a statement. Mudra said she felt she had to prove to the server that she is a woman, so she unzipped her hoodie to show that she has breasts. The server didn't say anything in response, but left the red room. Oh, okay. So she unzipped her hoodie to like show her boobs through her shirt. Okay. The title was ambiguous, or the Twitter such and such was ambiguous. So she didn't force her? Yeah, I mean, I didn't think she had forced her. I just thought like it was a sexual harassment inquiry. Doesn't really change the dynamic there. Lamau clickbaited? Well, no, it's still the same thing, isn't it? Like, my assumption was just that the server followed her into the restroom and said, like, prove you're a woman or whatever. I think this is still fundamentally the same kind of sexual harassment. I mean, we'll see how it plays out in the legal case. Also, I do like, though, the implication that, like, this is not an own a trans woman could use. Like, trans women don't have breasts. Right? Like, it's just shocking to me, or it's revealing of how low IQ transphobia is, that they would get sort of assuaged by that. Not that I'm suggesting that the transphobe should be like, all right, show me your bits or whatever. I'm just saying that, like, it reveals how little they understand about anything. But the server wasn't a guy. No, they're in the women's restroom. The server's a lady. Not that that changes anything. She made me feel very uncomfortable, Murderer said. After that, I just don't like going in public bathrooms. I just hold it in. I want to be able to use the bathroom in peace. Jesus. This may not have been motivated by transphobia. It was motivated by transphobia. Under what other circumstances would you go after... Like, no. It's ridiculous. It was motivated by racism? I mean, maybe. I think the transphobia thing is a little bit more likely, but... we could throw it all in there. I don't care. Most of my butch friends are hesitant to use public bathrooms and have been for years. Yeah, they keep getting fucking harassed. There's a bunch of stories like this on social media. It's just a lot of them don't end in lawsuits. Gender Justice said Mudra's experience reflects a broader climate of fear and suspicion aimed at anyone who doesn't conform to narrow expectations of what girls and women should look like. That suspicion has been driven largely by the wave of state legislation targeting trans people, particularly their access to school sports and bathrooms that align with their gender identities, even though Minnesota hasn't enacted any such legislation. 19 states have laws that prohibit trans people from using bathrooms that align with their gender identities in K-12 schools, and in many of those states, the restrictions apply to other government-owned buildings. 27 states prohibit trans people from playing on school sports teams that align with their gender identities. Even before such laws, trans people had long reported facing harassment in public restrooms and avoided using them as a result. There have been several reports this year of women who aren't trans alleging harassment in public bathrooms because they were suspected of being trans, including at the U.S. Capitol in January, Phoenix in February, Florida in March, and Boston in May. I do hate the idea that, like, the argument against these laws or against this behavior is that it might misfire and hit cis people, as though it's not equally bad when it hits trans people. Even if Mudra had been trans, she would be able to file a discrimination complaint under state law in Minnesota. Based. Well, I hope she wins. It's a bad argument, but if it works, yeah, I mean, there are more cis people than trans people, so it is important to understand that these problems affect, like, lots and lots and lots of people. You know, you just can't get too in your head about it, right? No, well, the problem with, the problem with racism is that it might one day affect white people. You gotta be careful. These polling station literacy tests may catch white voters too. Well, that's what the grandfather clause was for. Don't be a pussy, defend your people, Vosh. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not white.